Chapter 2: Planning the Fantasy. Liam and Charlotte had been in a whirlwind of thoughts since their dinner with Noah. The energy of that night had not only stirred their bodies but also planted provocative ideas in their minds. In the silence of their bedroom, as they lay side by side, every detail of Noah's intense gaze and the subtext-laden comments echoed like a whisper in the dark. The faint hum of the air conditioner and the distant sound of traffic outside only heightened the intimacy of the moment. That dinner had been no ordinary encounter. It had been an experience that awakened something deep and dormant within them. What was that? Charlotte finally murmured, breaking the silence, her gaze lost on the ceiling. Her voice was soft, almost hesitant, as if she were afraid to give shape to the thoughts swirling in her mind. Liam turned to face her, his heart pounding. He, too, had been reflecting on the magnetism of the encounter, but hearing his wife express something so similar to what he felt made his pulse quicken. It was as if, for the first time, they were truly aligned in their deepest desires. "I don't know," Liam began, choosing his words carefully. His voice was low, tinged with a mix of curiosity and caution. "But, if you felt the same as I did, maybe we should explore this." The silence that followed was charged with tension, but Charlotte didn't look away. For the first time, they both felt a shared vulnerability that brought them even closer. It was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing a new layer of intimacy that not even years of relationship had explored. The room seemed to hold its breath, the weight of unspoken possibilities hanging in the air. The first step. The next day, Charlotte decided to break her routine. Instead of going straight to work, she stopped by the bookstore on the corner. The bookstore was a place she loved, with its tall shelves crammed with books and the distinct smell of old paper mingling with the scent of freshly brewed coffee from the cafe next door. She wandered through the aisles, her fingers brushing against the spines of books, until she found the section on relationships and intimacy. She picked up a book about open relationships, its cover adorned with a tasteful, abstract design. As she flipped through the pages, she wondered if she was ready to take this step. Would it strengthen their relationship or bring unexpected complications? The words on the page seemed to blur as her mind raced with questions. Meanwhile, Liam dove into research. He sat at his desk, the glow of his computer screen illuminating his face as he scrolled through forums and articles. The soft clicking of the keyboard filled the room as he typed search terms like exploring fantasies and emotional dynamics in open relationships. One phrase caught his attention: exploring fantasy can deepen the connection, but it requires open communication and mutual respect. That was exactly what he wanted for Charlotte and himself. He opened a notebook and began jotting down ideas, his handwriting hurried but legible. How could they start this conversation? How could they ensure both felt safe and respected? His mind buzzed with possibilities. 2. The crucial conversation. That evening, during dinner, Liam carefully brought up the topic. He had prepared a simple but special meal, with Charlotte's favorite dishes: grilled salmon, roasted vegetables, and a bottle of crisp white wine. The table was set with candles, their flickering light casting a warm glow over the room. As they shared the wine, he felt it was the right moment. "I've been thinking about us. About how we could try something new together," he said, looking into her eyes. His voice was steady, but his heart was racing. Charlotte nodded, her eyes shining with curiosity. She set down her fork and reached for his hand. "Do you think we're ready for this?" Liam held her hand, feeling the comforting warmth of her skin. "I think we'll only know if we try. But we'll only do what you're comfortable with. Nothing beyond what makes you feel at ease." Charlotte smiled, relieved by the sense of security Liam conveyed. "If we're going to do this, we'll do it together. And very carefully." The conversation flowed naturally, with both sharing their fears and expectations. It was as if a new chapter of their relationship was being written, and they were determined to write it together. The candles burned low, their light fading as the night deepened, but the connection between them only grew stronger. 3. Reconnecting with Noah. With the decision made, the next step was the most delicate: approaching Noah. Charlotte sat on the couch, her phone in hand, staring at the blank screen. She took a deep breath and began typing. "Our dinner was amazing. Liam and I haven't stopped talking about the ideas that came up during that conversation. Could we meet again?" She hesitated for a moment before hitting send. Almost immediately, her phone buzzed with a reply. Noah suggested a meeting at a discreet lounge in the city. His response brought a mix of anxiety and excitement to the couple. They knew they were about to take a significant step, but they also felt a certain apprehension. Would Noah understand their intentions? Would he be willing to participate in this experience? 4. Exploring the possibilities. At the lounge, the atmosphere was filled with soft lighting and smooth music. The low hum of conversation and the clinking of glasses created a cozy, intimate ambience. Noah arrived punctually, exuding the same calm charisma that had won them over at dinner. He wore a casual blazer with an open collar shirt, and his smile was as captivating as ever. "So, what exactly do you want to talk about?" he asked, his deep voice almost sounding like a challenge. Liam and Charlotte exchanged glances before Charlotte began. "We want to explore something, together. Something we've been thinking about a lot since the last time we met." Noah leaned forward, his interest visible on his face. "I like exploring. Go on." The conversation transitioned naturally to more intimate topics, each of them expressing their boundaries and expectations. Noah, always respectful, made it clear that nothing would happen without total consent. This gave Liam and Charlotte the confidence they needed to proceed. They realized Noah wasn't just a charming man but someone who valued communication and respect above all else. 5. Planning the details. Back at home, the couple sat down to discuss what they wanted and how the next encounter would unfold. They created a set of rules. Everything would be consensual and transparent. If anyone felt uncomfortable, they would stop immediately. The focus would be on strengthening their connection. As Charlotte wrote down the rules, Liam watched her with a mix of admiration and desire. He couldn't believe how much the situation had brought them closer. It was as if they were rediscovering each other, and it filled him with immense gratitude. 6. The invitation. Charlotte suggested an environment that would provide privacy and intimacy. They rented a cabin in a secluded area, surrounded by nature. The idea was to create a safe and comfortable space for this experience. The cabin had a stunning view of the mountains, with a large window that let in natural light. It was the perfect place to explore something new. When Noah received the invitation, he responded enthusiastically, "I can't wait to share this experience with you. You're amazing for doing this together." 7. Emotions on edge. The night before the encounter, Liam and Charlotte lay side by side, their hands intertwined. The room was quiet, save for the gentle rustling of leaves outside the window. "Are you nervous?" he asked softly. "Very. But also excited. This is something I never thought we'd do, but it feels right. What about you?" Liam smiled. "I'm nervous too. But I'm happy because we're doing this together." They both knew this journey wasn't just about Noah or the fantasy, it was about the courage to explore new dimensions of their relationship. They were ready to take the next step, together. 8. Night reflections. That night, while Charlotte slept, Liam stayed awake, staring at the ceiling. His mind was full of questions. Were they doing the right thing? Could this change their relationship forever? He turned to look at Charlotte, asleep beside him. She looked so peaceful, so confident. He knew he needed to trust her, just as she trusted him. 9. Preparations for the meeting. The next day, Charlotte spent hours choosing what to wear. She wanted something that would make her feel confident but also comfortable. Meanwhile, Liam prepared a special playlist for the evening, with songs they both loved. They wanted everything to be perfect, but they also knew that the real magic was in the connection they shared. 10. The arrival of Noah. When Noah arrived at the cabin, he brought with him a bottle of wine and a warm smile. "I'm so happy to be here with you," he said, hugging them both. The night promised to be unforgettable. 11. The first touch. As the night progressed, the three of them began to feel more at ease. The first touch was gentle, almost accidental, but full of meaning. It was the beginning of something new, something none of them would forget. 12. The dawn. The next day, the sun rose over the mountains, bathing the cabin in golden light. Liam and Charlotte woke up together, feeling closer than ever. They knew they had taken an important step, and they were eager to see where this journey would take them.